losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome into the night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. This is the Sunday night edition of Into the Night. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. I'm thanking them for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week, 1-hour shows, Sundays and Tuesday nights, from 8:10 p.m. to 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget, right after my show tonight, of course, you have Mr. Dawn and Darren Yazzie, and they have their podcast coming up. It's called Don't Whistle at Night. So whenever, thank you, boss lady, Chrissy. Thank you, boss lady. Zay, you know what, Z? I really don't know how to do Discord. I'll figure it out and I'll add you on. But thank you for stopping in. Mr. Don Yazzie and Don't Whistle at Night, Don and Darren, and they have a very good show. And it's like really, really, really good. They're great. They're good people. He's like my brother. But tonight, before I go into the topic that I picked, there's a couple things I want to talk about first. Okay. Now, the first question is, anybody out there? Today is a national holiday somewhere in the world. Can you guess it? Can you guess what holiday it is? And if you do, hey, Kevin. And if you can guess the holiday, you're smart. But yeah, I thought I'd throw that little question out there. You know, what major holiday is today out there in the world? Yeah, and that little bastard, if he sees his shadow, yeah, he's going on the grill, dude. He's going on the grill. But speaking of Groundhog Day, yeah, that's a major thing up in Puxatawny. His name is Puxatawny Phil. And he's been going at it for a very, very long time. If he sees a shadow, we're in trouble. That's all I could see. We're in trouble. Um, 6 more weeks of winter, but it's something good. And I tell you what, Puxatawny isn't really a big city, okay? But man, they get thousands and thousands of people to come up there to check out Phil. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. I just remember the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. That was a very good movie. That was a funny movie. But what I'd like to do, hey Jamie from Bradford, thank you for copping in. Appreciate it. Hey Cindy Mitch, glad to see you're here. Well, I'm going to bring up a little thing I want to talk about. Um, yeah, Kevin was a good movie. But I want to talk about um, is in the past 5 weeks, I had 3 family members who passed away. Okay. And they weren't feeling good. Okay. Um, but what I want to talk about is, you go to functions, you go to weddings, and you only see your family like whoever passes away, whoever dies. Okay. Now, you know, and it's like you don't think about, going to see how they're doing. Hey, Michelle, and how they're feeling, how they're doing. Um, and you just hear the news at funerals of what's going on in the family. And personally, I admit that I am one of them that don't communicate with my family, right? Could be because I'm busy. All kinds of other stuff could be happening. Okay. But my cousin passed away on the 30th. And he was a good dude. He was a really, really good dude. He married my cousin. And they have a beautiful, beautiful family. In fact, all my aunt and uncle passed away about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And they were beautiful people. And what's sad is that my life has been so busy that don't make the time to go and see how they're doing. And I think that's unfair upon my part. Okay. Now I'm busy with my life, but just call one of my cousins to see how their mom and dad are doing. I should be doing that, but I don't. And I'm not here to, throw a guilt trip on myself, or guilt trip on anybody. But I really believe that we should communicate with our families, our cousins, our aunts and uncles when they're alive. You know, you go and you just remember the great times you used to have with them growing up, just having a lot of fun. But we don't do that no more. And what's sad is I remember, and my mom taught me, you got to go to funeral homes. It's an Irish thing. It's an Irish thing, especially in my family. My mom always tells me and my brother that when she was 70, hey, Heidi, good to see you, hon. Thank you for popping in. And when she was young, she had a car. And that's all she did was drive my grandmother to all the funerals. Yeah. And that's what they did. So that, the viewings and the funerals. But I really thought about it after I found out about my cousin, you know, that we should, that, no, I should, try, make an effort to communicate with my cousins. Carla, oh my God, good to see you. My dear friend, we all need to do better. If we're not part of the solution, we're part of the problem. Here's to picking up the phone. Yes. And I admit, that I'm one of them that don't pick up the phone. Now I do pray for them, but I just don't take about 2 or 3 minutes out of my life to just call and say hello. I'm tired of meeting at funeral homes. No one's getting married, so we ain't going to see anybody at the weddings. So maybe I should make an effort. OPAA, okay. Um, Maybe I should make that effort to pick up phone, you know. But I think we all should pick up the phone and communicate with our families more. It's not there. And they always say that family is big, family is huge. But we got caught up in this rat race called life that we don't have the opportunity. Let me rephrase that. We do have the opportunity to do it, but you know what? We don't. So hopefully, hopefully, and all I can do is live one day at a time. What it now? I'm going to go home and visit my cousins and give my cousin a big hug because she needs one. We all need a hug, you know. So maybe after the show, after Dawn, hey Michelle, maybe after the show, after you get done, or with Dawn and Darren's podcast, if you can before you go to sleep, just look up in the sky and say, you know what, Lord, please protect my families. And I guarantee you he will, because that's what I'm going to do tonight. But again, I want to bring up the question. There is a major holiday out in the world today. Oh, no, it was yesterday. There's a major holiday. And if anybody can guess it, feel free. If nobody wants to try and guess it, then I will tell you at the end of the show. Now, since we've been doing those readings and everyone's enjoying them, what I'm going to do at the end of my show tonight is I'm going to pull a card. And this card that I'm going to pull for you, hopefully, it's an animal card. Yeah, Groundhog. No, not Groundhog Day, Carla. Nope, 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 nope. It's a major holiday in the world. And it could be in any country, United States. That little bastard, if he sees a shadow, you know what? That little bastard's gonna be in the smoker or on the grill, brother, because I'm tired of it. Right now we're in a heat wave. It's 15 degrees. I woke up this morning to go to work and it was 3 degrees. Thank God no wind. And tomorrow morning when I go to work, it's going to be 3 degrees again. But we're in the 20s. Yeah, Groundhog Day's tomorrow, but no, it's not Groundhog Day. The major holiday is not Groundhog Day. It's another holiday out there in the world. So I'll let you all think, okay? But it is a major holiday. Hey, Vet Girl, good to see you, hon. I will give you a hint to the answer. I'll give you a hint. It's in the United Kingdom. But don't Google. You can't Google. But if you need to Google, Google it. But the major holiday is in the United Kingdom. But maybe we should all just sit back before we go to bed and pray for our families. And maybe if we have time, send them a text, give them a call, and let's see where it goes. Cindy says, LOL, I'll let Puxatawny Phil know what you said, Sean. LOL. I live up here in Puxatawny. Go ahead, Cindy, tell him. That boy, if he sees a shadow, man, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Cindy, that boy's going on a girl. That's all I could say. He is. If anybody doesn't know, hey, Denise, you got it. St. Bridget's Day. That's my girl. St. Bridget. Yes. St. Bridget's Day. And I think that's right, pretty cool. So, of course, I went to my AI overview here, and I'm going to read a little bit about St. Bridget. Changing device. Be right back. Okay, Michelle. But St. Bridget's Day is celebrated in Ireland on February 1st. It's marking the beginning of spring and the ancient Celtic festival of Imbolc. I hope I said that right. As a public holiday since 2023, it honors one of Ireland's patron saints, associated with fertility, poetry, and healing traditions include weaving rush crosses for protection and honoring female leadership. St. Bridget's crosses. Traditionally, families weave crosses from rushes to hang above doors or in barns to protect the home from fire and evil. Welcome back, Michelle. Imbolc slash spring. Okay. It marks the start of spring and the return of light, bringing hope and growth, as noted. And I don't know, Denise, if you're still listening, what is a biddy brat shrine? It says historically, biddy boys would visit homes with a straw doll, and people would leave out a cloth on the eve of Saint to bless, believed to have healing powers. Oh, you read about it, huh? The modern celebration, the day now emphasizes the role of Irish women in society with festivals, arts, and community gatherings as, as highlight. The holiday is observed on the first Monday in February, unless February 1st falls on a Friday, in which case it is held on that day, according to Ireland. It is one of Ireland's three main patron saints. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. It is one of Ireland's three main patron saints, along with St. Patrick and St. Columba. Oh, you getting your plants ready? Yeah, I started a couple pepper plants down in my cellar, but it's so damn cold here. Okay, it's so damn cold that I just this is too damn cold. You know what I mean? So it was like really cool that St. Bridget's Day, February 1st. It's the beginning of spring, and I'm just excited that they actually gave Ireland a national holiday. Uh, oh, you were saying you were celebrating. What did you do, T? I'm going to call you by your first name. I don't know about the. This is Denise. I don't know about the biddy. The cloth is some kind of luck. When I was younger, I was told it meant your home would be safe, but not sure. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. And I want to wish a happy St. Bridget's Day to all the Irish females out there. There is still January 1st. Okay. I don't know about that one. Oh, okay. February 1st. Yes. Oh, where are you from? T, where are you from? You from? Are you from? I don't know. Where are you from, buddy? It's still January 1st. I don't know. If you want to say where you're from, oh, you're from Brazil. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh, and Michelle's going to do a DIY on a bridge across. Well, welcome from Brazil. T, welcome. Thank you for joining. But, well, that's pretty cool. But, yeah. So I want to wish all Happy St. Bridget's Day to all um, Irish women out there and every other, ethnic woman out there. Today's your day, ladies. Today's your day. So make the best of it. And I hope that your homes are blessed and safe. Ah, thank you. T says, I got here searching for streams and your beautiful words got me. Thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you. Oh, man. I'm blushing here. But I hope all your homes are safe. I hope all the Irish women and all the women in the world have a special day today. And hey, Squats Man, good to see you. We're gonna have you on soon, buddy. Coming up, it's getting like nice and warm. March, I'm gonna do us in the March. I'm gonna do a Bigfoot month. So get ready, my friend. Um, God bless Irish. God bless all the women in the world. God bless all the women in the world. Without them, I don't think a world would exist. And I'm not trying to get no pointers or you know, um, you know, cookies or something like that. But I really, really mean that. I can't wait for you to be on, dude. But tonight, okay, tonight, um, does Witchcraft and Fairies coexist? And it is 8:33, and it is at the bottom of the hour. So I am going to go put on a 2-minute um, ad, and we'll see you in 2 minutes, okay? And then we're going to get into witches and fairies. Do they coexist? So I will be right back.
Two real cryptid legends doing what they do, bringing information for me and you. Ron Moorhead and his Sierra Sounds, Daryl Denton, the Tennessee Bigfoot Man, along with Michelle Desrochers, bring adventures across this land. So much information brought to you each week, actively out there looking as the truth they seek.
Oh, real quick. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you two shows a week, Sunday and Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on this wonderful platform, UPR. Now, it's not just my shows. You got Mr. Don and Darren Yazzie, Don't Whistle at Night, coming on right at my show. So it starts at 9:10 Eastern. And, go over and give them some love. Some love. And then you have the Gateway Podcast with my friend C.L. Thomas. Then you got the Outer Realm with Michelle and Amelia. And then you got News on the Flip Side with Joe Montaldo, me, and oh my gosh, I forgot his name. He's going to kill me. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Kevin. And there's just so many. The Angel Rock on Monday nights. So, if you ever want, and they're all different shows, and they all are the greatest hosts in the world that I am happy to call my family. Okay, so if you're interested, during the week and you have nothing to do, come on UPRN and check out what shows are on. It'd be a pretty good experience. So to tonight's topic, okay, does witchcraft and fairies coexist? Do witches and fairies coexist? Does anybody know if they do or not? What do you guys think in the chat room? Oh, and I want to thank all the people who are listening to my show now in the 160 different countries that the show is being broadcast on tonight. Yes, 160 countries. Well, do you think witches and fairies coexist? Witchcraft. Not everybody talk at one time here now. But witchcraft and fairies, let me see. Hey, Century, good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Witchcraft and fairies coexist through an ancient interconnected relationship. Did you know that? Where fairies act as teachers, patrons, or sources of power for practitioners. Full moon tonight, witches exist and fairies exist, so I guess they do coexist. Okay, Kevin. Okay, I can take that. That's true. But this is pretty interesting what I just read. They coexist through an ancient interconnected relationship where fairies act as teachers, patrons, or sources of power for practitioners. Thank you, Kevin. Historically, cunning folk or witches, that was the name for a witch, were called cunning folk. That's pretty neat. Often claimed to gain their magical knowledge of healing and divination from the good folk or the Queen of Elfhame. Does anybody know that? Do you know who the Queen of Elfhame is? If you can, I appreciate it if you can give me that. So, never heard about the relationship of witches and fairies. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome, huh, Denise? And congratulations on winning the trivia question tonight. Kevin says, yes, I can see that fairies being guides to a practitioner. The partnership blurs the line between human magic and otherworldly power, with some traditions viewing witches as being taught by or even working directly with the Fae. That's interesting. I can see it happening, but I just got chills when I read that, and I think that's like kind of like pretty cool. Kevin says, yes, I can see that fairies being guides to a practitioner, of course. There's the key aspects of coexistence between the witches and the fairies, the fae. Historical practitioners, often called fairy doctors, were humans believed to be blessed by or in league with fairies, acting as intermediaries between the two worlds. And this thing just popped into my head. I had my friend, the guy had on Lee, yeah, Willie, Lee Willie. He was a shaman, or he went and healed, but he would go out, in spirit world and get the answers or get the medicine to heal a person. So I could see that happening. They shared magic and knowledge. Both witches and fairies are associated with nature, herbalism, shape shifting, and the ability to cause or cure illnesses. Kevin says, I have elf/human like guides in other races of my guide team, but those fairies are tricksters. Yeah, they are tricksters. You have to be careful with the Fae. You really do, because, um, they might be kind of sneaky. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just feel when I see a fairy ring, or if I'm out in the woods prospecting gold and I see little things flying around a bush, okay, especially fairy trees, okay, I just I feel like I am safe when I'm around them. But you think they are similar frequency fairies and witchy types. That's true. That is so definitely true, Kev. But I feel safe when I'm out there in the woods. Even though I don't like going into the woods because I'm from the city of Pittsburgh and I just do city shit. Whenever the only time I go in the woods is when I'm prospecting gold, and but I feel safe. I feel safe that I know they're there. Hey, Joni, good to see you. Welcome. And I don't know how anybody else feels with them, with the fairies, the fae. I have a lot of dear, beautiful female friends and male friends who are witches or Wiccan. And some of them are just so blessed. That girl says the woods is her element. Yeah, it is. I can't do the woods. I'm sorry. I couldn't live in Canada because there's too many mooses and elk, and brown and grizzly bears. And I don't know what I'd do. Kevin says they won't hurt you, just don't disturb your wood circles, but they will play games with you in your home, even. Yeah, they do. In fact, like I said, I'm from Pittsburgh, and no, it keeps us grounded. But yeah, no, they're in my backyard. In fact, they were an overabundant of fairies in my backyard that I actually set up some food for them, and they love the milk and honey. I put it in a bowl, and I planted some flowers around. I figure, and this is the way I look at life. If you do something good for people, um, in return, they'll do something good for you. And I believe that if I do something good for the fairies, then they'll protect. They'll protect my home. They'll protect me, and they will protect my family. I have no doubt about it. Michelle says I did that. Ramps up the energy. They live it. They love it. Yeah. But with the witches and the fairies, they share magic and knowledge. Both witches and fairies are associated with nature, herbalism, shapeshifting, and the ability to cause or cure illnesses. But you know what? Sure, I believe they could probably cause an illness if they really, really wanted to. Um, but if you piss them off, they're gonna like mess with you. And I would not, I would not want to run across a, I would not want to make a fae angry. No, 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 no. Mm-mm, nah. Michelle says I leave gifts at my neighbor's fairy tree: small rocks, pennies, bread, and milk. And that's good, Michelle. Um, and I do the same thing. I haven't put out no milk or flowers or anything like that. But when I did, oh my gosh, if Carla's still in the chat room, she could tell you. Kevin says we don't see wildlife much actually, Sean. Well, nothing that will kill you. Bears are hibernating in the winter and not starving in the summer. So just be careful in spring when they are hungry after waking up from. I feel it, and Michelle said the winter song. Michelle says I feel it gives me good energy, and that's all that matters. If it gives you good energy, anything you do for a person, anything that you do for another being, okay, knowing that you did it through from your heart, of course it's going to give you awesome energy. Really. And that's the same way when you deal with people. Okay, when you deal with people. And I remember one time I worked at the post office. I was a window clerk, and where I stood to sell stamps, there was a window in front, so we could see everybody who was coming in. And man, this lady, she came out of her car and she was angry. Oh my God, she was mean. She was ready for a fight. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? Please don't come to my window. Please don't come to my window. I don't want to deal with you today. Oh, was she angry? She had so much anger, it was unbelievable. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, Joe Fox, CL, good to see you. And guess what happened? She ended up at my window. And before she even could open her mouth, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am. Did you the Irish is my favorite culture. You don't cut any apple trees down." Okay. She went to your window. Um, before she got a word out. Okay. I said, "Did you just get your hair done today?" And she just smiled. And she said, "You noticed that?" I said, "Sure did. Your hair looks wonderful. Looks beautiful." Made her smile. She bought her stamps and went off. And then I felt good that I mentioned that to her. It wasn't, huh? KKK? What the hell? There ain't no such thing as KKK in my room. No, 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 no. No. But, but if you do good for other people in return, I don't know who these people are, but that's okay. But, just doing something good for somebody, everything, good things will come in return for you. But back to the witches and the fae. The historical documentation, witch trials often documented accusations of consorting with fairies. I never knew that. And I did a couple shows on the witches trial, and never read anything about the fairies. But consorting with fairies, highlighting a deep, a bit sometimes dangerous connection. It's possible. It's possible that they can get together and raise heaven. Donna, good to see you, hon. Hey, Donna, let me ask you a question. When you're out in your woods, right? Um, do you see the fae? Do you see the fairies? Do you see the fairy trees? Do you see the fairy rings? Just want to know. And one more question, Donna. I'm sorry. Um, did your shaman or uh, and bulk blessings to you, CL? Um, did your shaman, Donna, work with the Fae? Did they work with the feeling? Um, Kevin said, but I was just wondering about that. And pretty soon in March, we're going to be talking Bigfoot. So, Donna, I'm going to be getting you back on again. But like I said at the beginning of the show, Miss C.L. Thomas, I'm wishing every woman, every Irish woman, and every woman out there in the world a happy St. Bridget's Day. I am. Now, there's a modern practice. It's called fairy witchcraft or Fey Wicca. Involves honoring these beings and incorporating their energy into modern neo pagan rituals. No, Hassan, honestly, no, no, trust me, they can see what you're writing. I don't think they see what you're writing. We have a problem where we have like two or three YouTubes going on, and no, you're not. No, there's a lot of people watching. They coexist as two sides of a similar coin, with witches acting as the human, tangible link to the intangible, otherworldly nature of the Fae, according to a meeting. Now, again, okay, again, you can consider that the yin and the yang, right? Right. So you got witches on one hand, and you got the Fae on the other hand. You need one to deal with the other one. Okay. So in conclusion of today's show, okay, I highly believe that witches and fairies and fae work together. Now, do I think they do it to harm people? I don't think so. Do they have the capability to harm a person with their magic? I know it did fly by, Kevin. It really did. Um, I do believe that they could if they combine. If you really, really piss them off, yeah, I'm sure they can come up with something. Like I said before, I have a lot of witches who are my friends. I have a lot of them. And I get the utmost respect for them. Donna says, I have seen the fairies and my grandfather was Irish, so I also honor the Fae and the little people. Aw, that's great. I'm just, man, I'm getting chills when I talk about this stuff tonight. Um, but I do believe they do help each other and help people. But it's amazing that how the Fae, okay, how the Fae, teach the witches about everything. And Heidi says, agree, I do honor them. Respect. Yes, you have to. And we'll see what's going to happen. Maybe when it gets a little bit warmer, I'll throw out. And Donna says that I have been taught to never do evil or anything dark. Me too. What's it get you, Donna, if you do something evil and dark? It gets you bad karma, is what it does. And I'm glad that you respect your fairies, Michelle. I really do. But yeah, of course. I mean, don't disrespect them. In fact, do not disrespect anybody. Treat people how you want to be treated. Kevin says, we are good witchy like people here. Yes, you all are. But I hope people learned a little bit about the difference between witches and fairies tonight. Um, I hope you got some knowledge of it. And you see a fairy, just say hello. That's all. Say hello and talk to them. And when it gets a little bit warmer out, okay, when it gets a little bit warmer, then I will throw out some milk and milk and honey mixed, and feed them. But we are coming up on the witching hour. Okay. So what I told you at the beginning, and everybody who just popped in, I am going to pull a card, and just one card. That's all. And yes, you missed the East Coast greenery. Pennsylvania's beautiful, man, especially when it turns when spring hits. See how you know the deal. Oh my God, go up 79 or go over I-80. Ooh, gorgeous. But I'm going to draw a card, and this is for everybody. Okay, I'm going to draw a card, and hopefully, just write it down. And if you want to, meditate on it. When are you coming back? Don't worry, we're going out for coffee, CL. Donna says everything in nature is sacred and given to us in love and to be respectful of all things. Yes, ma'am. Oh, my birthday. You better be here for my birthday, June 4th. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Kevin says, I can chat with that tree or river over there. I am good, LO, or pick a tree near roadside. Ha ha ha, same idea. You know how many times I have talked to the trees up in Gettysburg? No shit. Your birthday's June 4th, too. Holy crap. And you're my best friend. Oh my God. June. Oh, right. Oh, wow. That's going to be easy. I don't go deep in the woods. Nope, nope, nope. Not me. But here's a card. And that's going to, this card here is going to be for the rest. Yes, yes, we share the same birthday, CL. So this card here that I'm going to pull is for everybody. And maybe this animal that I pulled for you guys tonight can help you with your week's journey coming up. So just shuffle them. Oh, great. I'd be honored to have you honored, Donna. So I'm cutting the cards here. Okay. And here's the card that I picked. We talked about this one. The Jaguar. The Jaguar. So everybody write that down. And if you want to, look up the meaning of spiritual meaning of the Jaguar. And hopefully the Jaguar walks for you this week. Maybe that Jaguar would be your totem animal for the week. And I hope, and probably will walk with you. So right after my show, okay, just Google Jaguar, and you can come up with your own conclusion what you think that card means to you. Well, everybody, it is the witching hour, and it is time to leave, unfortunately. Don't forget, Mr. Don and Darren Yazzie, Don't Whistle at Night podcast is coming on next. Um, so whenever my show ends, pop on over to theirs, give them some love, tell them I said hello. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And children, go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, good night, everybody, and we'll see you Tuesday night. Good night.